Ever feel overwhelmed by your to-do list and unsure where to start? In our next episode, we're diving into the game-changing tool that can help you prioritize like a pro, the Effort Impact Matrix. Join us as we explore this simple yet powerful tool that can revolutionize the way that you approach your tasks and your projects, helping you focus your time and energy where it matters most. Hey, lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. The Effort Impact Matrix, also known as the Eisenhower Matrix or the Priority Matrix. It's a powerful tool for prioritizing tasks and projects based on their level of effort and impact. It helps individuals and teams make informed decisions about where to focus their time and resources for maximum effectiveness. So, what exactly is the Effort Impact Matrix?
Imagine a 2x2 grid with effort on the horizontal axis and impact on the vertical axis. The grid is divided into 4 quadrants, each representing a different combination of effort and impact.
So let's start with quadrant 1, which contains tasks or projects that require high effort but also yield high impact. These are your top priorities, the tasks that will have the greatest positive impact on your goals. For example, launching a new product or implementing a major marketing campaign would fall into this quadrant. So, Rachel, what is a task that you have either done or have on your to-do list that would fall into this quadrant of high impact, high effort?
I think for me personally, it would probably be BNI. Now, with BNI, you get what you put into it.
What is BNI?
BNI is Business Network International, and it's a networking group. And you don't have to put as much effort into it, but it's like anything. The more that you put into it, the more that you invest, the more that you'll reap from it as well. So for me, BNI is a high impact type of task.
And has it also had a high impact on yielding client referrals?
Oh, 100%.
So, and Rachel is being modest. She's the president of her chapter. She also coordinates all the social events. She also does the social media page. She also does one-to-ones all the time. She just really goes above and beyond with her BNI membership. And so it has been high effort for her particularly, but she's yielded the results. People have grown to know her, like her, and trust her. And so she's gotten a number of referrals from that effort she has put in.
So what's something for you that's high effort, high impact?
Probably some of the events that I've hosted, either the networking events or the community events. The Easter event, for example, that we did last year was really high effort. Especially in the creation of the tomb, I paper machéd this tomb and spray painted it, and it was it turned out really well. We had an angel who stood by the tomb, and it was a cool interactive experience for the kids to get to look inside the tomb and see that Jesus was gone, and the angel would tell them the story. And so it was really cool, but there was a lot of work involved in that Easter event. I also had coordinated a number of different Christian dance teams in the area who came to perform. We had face painters and crafts, all kinds of different craft stations for the kids to participate in. We had bounce houses. I had a stage outside with the microphone and audio set up. It was just really a lot of planning, preparation, and implementation that went into it. But it also had a high impact in that there was a good turnout from people in the community who are within my target market, but also just giving back to the community and helping to bless them in a way that I think served the kingdom, but also served a purpose for the business and the community.
I agree. There was a lot that went into that event. And I remember it was incredibly hot because remember my Durango broke down and I was stranded in Orlando for hours out in the heat.
Yes.
So having all of that going on and then the heat and just trying to make sure that everything is on schedule is a lot. But people did speak very highly of it.
Even just figuring out parking, because we used the parking lot for the event. So then we're thinking, well, where's everyone going to park since we just put a bunch of bounce houses and stage in the parking lot? So just trying to figure out those logistics. There really is a lot that goes into it that you don't always realize at the time that you commit to doing an event. But it, in retrospect, it was, I put it in the category of high effort and high impact. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple or Spotify are the best platforms for reviews.
2, join us for our free Friday Zoom calls at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. To RSVP, go to missbiz.com homepage. Scroll down to Miss Biz Connects and click the link.
3, follow us on social media. Our handle is at Miss Biz Podcast.
As always, thank you for your support.
So in quadrant 2, we have tasks that require low effort, yet yield high impact. These are your quick wins, the tasks that make a significant difference with minimal investment of time or resources. Some examples may include sending a thank you email to a client or making a small optimization to your website. So what's one for you, Brooke?
Low effort with high impact. I think for me, probably filming some of the marketing videos we've done has been low effort on my part with a high impact, because for me, we hire professionals to do the videography, and all I have to do is show up and be on camera for a few hours, and then my part is done. But the life of that video can go on social media and YouTube and the website for years, having a continual impact on viewers who see it over the course of time. So I think doing those type of videos for me has been a low effort on my personal part. I know that the people who put the videos, who have to do all the editing and the filming, like it's high effort on their part. But for me personally, I categorize it as one of the lower effort things that I've done.
Yeah. Well, for me, something that I thought of automatically is posting on Google My Business. So as soon as I started posting on my Google My Business regularly, my website traffic increased. People were calling my phones like a lot more than they were previously. And that is something that is so easy for me to do, because a lot of times I use a scheduling tool. I use Loomly, and I can connect Google My Business to my my social media platforms, and then it's no different than just making one post. I'm already making the post on other platforms. I'm just selecting that I want to add Google My Business to it. So that is something that is extremely low effort and yet yields pretty high results.
It's a great example. So the third quadrant contains tasks that require high effort but yield low impact. These are your distractions, the tasks that may seem urgent or important but don't actually move the needle on your goals. Examples might include attending non-essential meetings or spending too much time on administrative tasks. And I was talking with a friend this week who said that at her job, they have staff meetings all the time. And it turns into kind of just a complaint session a lot of the times where they're not really being productive. And so she thinks that it's a waste of time. So that would maybe be a type of example of something that was high effort because it takes hours of your day, but low impact.
I can agree with that. I try to think like, okay, is this meeting going to be beneficial for anyone? Because there's a difference between just answering questions and then committing to an hour meeting. And sometimes what I find helpful is just blocking off, like making meeting times 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes. And then if we need to schedule a second meeting, then we can schedule a second meeting. But at least we're not investing a bunch of time on something that might not help anybody in the picture.
This month, we are celebrating the 1-year Miss Biz anniversary.
As a way to celebrate, we are offering a special giveaway brought to you by Boltz Media. And the prize is a logo animation, or it can be exchanged for a logo design. Here's how to enter. There's 3 steps. 1, you're going to want to follow us and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Miss Biz Podcast. 2, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. 3, comment your favorite Miss Biz episode on one of our social media posts. Once you've done all 3 things, send us an email to missbizpod@gmail.com to be entered to win. Your entries will be drawn on June 28th.
Another example for Miss Biz of something that we did that was high effort with low impact is we were invited to participate in an event where we were going to present to an audience, and we understood that we'd be presenting to members of the public. So we'd be having an exposure to people who were not already familiar with Miss Biz. And so that was our expectation. But when we got there, they had our section kind of sectioned off away from the public, and we were just allowed to present to our followers who came to see us because we had promoted the event ourselves. And so the followers and friends and people who came to support us, we were relegated to only presenting to that group of people. And we pulled out all the stops in terms of our preparation, so there was high effort involved.
A lot of preparation.
Because we saw this as an opportunity to really shine in front of a new audience, and so we put in a lot of preparation and effort. And then it turned out it had a low impact because we just were presenting to people who already support us. So that was kind of a learning lesson, and also taught us to ask more questions when we are booking engagements and make sure we have a clear understanding of what the event is going to entail.
And that's not to say that you can't have high impact by building relationship with those that you know, because it was really nice to spend time with our listeners. But the way that it was initially presented to us was that we would be gaining new listeners. So that was our intended goal. So in terms of reaching that very specific goal, we didn't meet it, but it's not to say that we didn't find enjoyment out of it or benefit from it either.
Sure. And I think if I would have understood their intentions, I would have planned differently. I think
we would have had them plan.
Yeah, we would have just planned on spending quality time with our listeners.
Right.
Versus presenting to them. I think we wouldn't have put on a show, so to speak, for our listeners. We would have just engaged in meaningful conversation and other relationship building activities versus putting on a whole dog and pony show.
Yes. Skincare for aging and little black dresses, obedient children who clean up the messes, high heels and purses and chocolate galore. Louis Vuitton is our favorite store. One of my favorite apps is the YouVersion app. This app contains so many different functionalities. If I'm in church and I want to take notes during the sermon, I can go to whatever Bible verse he's speaking of and I can write notes. I can highlight certain verses. So if I want to refer back to something later, I can check my highlighted items and see what those were. Also, I can select any type of devotion. You name the topic of what you're going through or what you want to learn about, and they have a devotion for you. So finally, in quadrant 4, we have tasks that require low efforts and yield low impact. So these are your time wasters, the tasks that don't contribute to your goals and can safely be eliminated or delegated. So some examples might include checking your social media excessively or organizing your desk for the 10th time.
Yeah, so for me, emails fall into this category because I get a lot of emails that are junk or that just need to be forwarded to someone in the firm. And so I was at one point just spending hours and hours going through the hundreds of emails I get a day, and much of that time was just spent forwarding and deleting. So now I have someone who goes through my emails first, screens them, forwards and deletes the things that need to be handled, and then puts in a folder the ones that are important for my review. And so that has really freed up my time and allowed me to move emails into a different category where it's yielding a higher impact because it's focused just on the important ones.
For me, it's scheduling posts on social media. So that is something that requires no skill whatsoever. Anybody can be involved in the scheduling of it. So that type of task can be easily delegated for me. So I can focus more on the strategy or the design or whatever is really, really important.
Now that we understand the 4 quadrants of the effort impact matrix, how can we use this tool to prioritize our tasks and projects more effectively? One recommendation is to write down each task or project on a Post-it note and place it on a poster board in the correct quadrant. This visual representation can help you see at a glance where your focus should be and make it easier to identify which tasks to tackle first, and also which tasks you need to just throw in the trash. And maybe you are being overly ambitious. If you've got 10 Post-it notes in the high impact, high effort quadrant, that should be a red flag to you to say, this is unrealistic. I can't commit to doing this many high effort, high impact activities in this quarter or this year. Maybe we need to just identify one per quarter for this year and then revisit it next year. So seeing the visual representation, I think, helps you to see where you're spending most of your time, and also the things that you can eliminate. Those low impact, high effort things, those need to not be on your quadrant at all.
Another recommendation is to regularly review and update your effort impact matrix as priorities shift and new tasks arise. So what may have been in a quadrant 2 task yesterday could become a quadrant 1 task tomorrow. So it's important to stay flexible and adapt as needed.
Finally, remember that the effort impact matrix is just one tool in your productivity toolbox. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, and there may be times when other factors such as deadlines, resources, or stakeholder opportunities need to be taken into account when making decisions about how to allocate your time and energy.
Well, we hope you found this exploration of the effort impact matrix helpful in your quest to prioritize tasks and projects more effectively. As always, thank you for tuning in, and until next time, let's get biz done.
Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltzlegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltzmedia.com. Let's get biz done.